Okay, we should be live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Legacy. I think I finally have figured out a theme for the gameplay that logically makes sense. Be quiet, phone. That logically makes sense for the environment or the mechanics we're trying to implement. Okay? But first, before we get into that, let's see what we got for gameplay right now. Because it's been a while. I took a week off, and then this was like a stream or two after that, so, okay. Still got no titles and stuff. We're still working on that idea. So, one thing we figured out is the leveling up mechanic. I still need to write a plugin to do the appropriate management, but I want to do like a level up animation and maybe a sound effect, so we can work around that. Maybe even show picture instead of every time it being like this. But basically every so many seconds, you're gonna level up. And your leveling up will give you the number of hours, how many hours you are old. So he's already 2,000 hours old. He'll experience a new experience. Oh yeah, I forgot. I put a question. Yeah, so yesterday I got a new blender and I wanted to try it out, and I tried a peanut butter and fruit smoothie. And my girlfriend was like, "That's disgusting." And I was like, "It's really good." So I'm trying to figure out, like, am I the odd one out, or is she? I think she is. Don't forward her this video at all. So we got it. We're leveled up. We got hours to new experiences. New experiences add wisdom. Wisdom is your level, and once you hit your maximum level for that actor, the actor dies. We also have it where you can recruit new party members. Right now, they are just randomly. I should big screen this. There we go. Right now, they are just randomly at various wisdoms and ages. But as you walk around, they'll level up or age up. Sorry. It's gonna take me a while to get it where I'm calling it by the right term. But they'll age up. Right now we have 3, 2, 1. Okay. They'll age up and everything, and eventually they will die. At which time, if they didn't die of max wisdom, then you will be able to go somewhere, somehow. Give me a second. You'll be able to go somewhere, somehow, and talk to, like, this guy and be able to revive them, as long as you haven't picked up a new party member prior to that moment. Okay? So, that's really where we were. I don't think we had any problems we needed to fix. I think we were pretty much as solid on that mechanic, which is great because I didn't want to work on that mechanic again. So now, theming and everything. And I was out last week. I took a break. So I've been really contemplating what is the theme for this game. And, like, how do I incorporate the multiple generations you're going to play and all this other stuff? And how do I make it fun for a long term? Because a general run, your player starts at no age and ends at 99 age, would be about 3 hours. So how do I manage that? And I was thinking, Tuesday we played Surviving Mars. Monday, as I was setting up for that stream, it all hit me like a bag of bricks. Space travel. But not surviving on a different planet, not the adventurers of like exploring the galaxy. No, you are what's called a Genesis ship. You, your, you as the player control a party, which I'm thinking is your 4 upper leaders of the ship. We're gonna go Star Trek kind of style where upper leaders are always at risk of everything, unlike in real life where if you reach like captain of a ship, you're most likely not gonna go out and adventure the wilderness and die, because that would be bad for leadership. So we're gonna do Star Trek style leadership, and you are the leaders of the various generations for this Genesis ship. And the idea I'm thinking is you keep the factions under control. You try to keep the Genesis ship alive, because ultimately you're trying to repopulate, or not repopulate, to populate a distant planet that's so far away from everything else that it would take multiple generations just to reach there. So initially you start off with the launch team, which you can decide, you set up, and that is your initial group. Within 3 hours though, you're going to start losing those launch team members and going to have to go around the Genesis ship looking for new members to pick up onto your team, all while trying to keep all the factions and everything happy and peaceful and everything. So it's kind of a management survivor game with an RPG element. And I'm thinking Beam Me Down Scotty kind of adventures where maybe you're passing a nearby planet and you'll be able to beam down there, and there'll be like a time limit of, let's say, 10 minutes while down there that you can explore and possibly complete a dungeon or something. So that's the core theme. And then I was like, okay, that's all fun and dandy, but I'm not, because of the Genesis like aspect to this, or the generation like aspect to this, it's not going to be fun gameplay. It's not by itself going to be gripping unless you can do something different. So I'm thinking Slay the Spiral level difficulty, where you're most likely not going to get to the end at any given cycle, with a random level generation, which I'm thinking the layers of the shuttle are going to be the things that are shuffled around, and random semi-random encounters and stuff like that to keep you on your toes. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's a game I've never seen. I've never seen a gameplay where the adventure, the journey, is the actual game. You're not racing to complete some boss or anything at the end. You're just trying to keep this crew alive and to reproduce, to create new members, in hopes that your great grandchildren will be able to touch down on this fantastic planet, which I'll most likely throw so much lore out there. It's going to be like the planet of the gods almost. So that's what I'm thinking. And that spun off many more ideas, which we'll start working on today. One such is charms. Right? Maybe. I actually do not know where I want to put this. Well, we can name the party. We can do party name. I'm going to have to open up a default match to see what the default ones are of these. I thought there was something that tells you what a class is in the game. Like if I go to menu, I'm pretty sure initial class. I'm pretty sure there's a point in the menu that tells you what a class is. Now, I don't know if it says like class blah blah blah, or if it just gives you what the class is. It might just give you what the class is. Which means I just have to make a note. Yeah, okay, so it just gives you what the class is. I just have to make a note. So what I'm thinking classes are your species. Because I'm thinking it will affect your stats and your traits. Your skills, however, will be defined by your occupation, or by the person you're taking onto your team, by their occupation, and by how many wisdom points they've had. I need to write a plugin because you can't define skills in that way, and I'm not going to write a scanning program that's going to scan every second or so to see if you've leveled up and which skills to have. I could do it, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to write a proper plugin to handle that. So I just need to make note of that so that we don't forget. Also, guys, check out my plugins. I'm still working on 2.0. I will get it out eventually. It's just been a crazy experience. So, classes equal not experience. Classes do not equal experience. Classes equal species. Actor equals occupation. Which I think, did I make good notes on here? No, I did not make good notes on here. Which skills come from? No skills come from classes. Okay, cool. Let's check out the other personal note since we're here. Yeah, this is gonna change, and enlightenment is gonna stay. Do we have it where it actually says enlightenment in the game yet? No, we just removed the party. We'll code this up a little bit better in the future, so it's like, party member has been enlightened. Right? Yeah, because this is just checking to see if you reach 99 and giving you the experience. Okay. So we got classes equal species, and I was trying to think of some initial species. So of course you're gonna have human. Don't know really all that's gonna be for human yet, but let's go with 10 for now, real quick. So one I was thinking of is mimic, which is going to be a little hard to code up, but let's try it. We can come up with a better name, but basically what I was thinking mimic will do is it will randomly clone a class when initially added to the party, and change class after every battle. So that's what I'm thinking mimic will do. Is I'll most likely, why not now, create a note tag is mimic. So what I'm thinking is every time you exit a battle or whenever you get a new party member, we check to see if the isMimic tag is in the class. If it is, then we know originally it was, oh no. isMimic is going to have to be, okay. isMimic note tag is going to have to be applied when a party member actor is declared. because when we change classes, it's going to remove the note tag. So when you get a mimic, initially there'll be a mimic, or they'll be flagged as a mimic, which actually means that there's not really a class for mimic. So we're gonna move copy human, replace human, copy mimic, replace that, delete, copy human, replace. So mimic's not really a class. Whoopsie. Because it's really more of a tag for the actor. Because once we tag the actor with the is mimic, then they'll randomly, and they'll choose a class other than what they are originally, randomly choose a new class after every battle. And how that's going to do is at the end of every battle, we're going to check to see all the party members, see if they have the is mimic tag, and if they do, randomly generate a new class number for them, or class ID for them, which it shouldn't be too hard. That should be relatively simple and easy. So that's that one. This guy, I should look up how to spell this right, because I was not able to while up at work. English is a language I know. Okay. Or no, not. Okay, there we go. I can't spell this whatsoever, so copy paste. So reincarnation, or reincarnate. Still, it's a placeholder name for just the idea of the species. So species are aliens, in case that wasn't clear, not like animals, but like aliens. So you got humans and other aliens all trying to travel to this this future planet. Okay. Now that that's explained. Reincarnation. Reincarnation, yep. Upon reaching the max level, they reset to 0 XP and 0 level. We'll call it wisdom. 0 wisdom. Then change and change to random class. So those were the two ones I had. As you can see, they kind of have a similar but different mechanic. One-time use. So the other one will change constantly. So I personally would not like that gameplay, but I could see that being fun for somebody who wants a little difficulty in their cup of tea. This one has its benefits and its downside. Benefit, you don't have to worry about losing that party member. They'll come back. They won't lose their skills. They won't lose anything you train them. Well, they might lose their skills because of their level, but once they get back to that level, they'll regain the skill. I need to test that to verify that's true. But they also won't die. Once they reach Wisdom 99, or whatever their max wisdom is, everything basically gets reset. They get randomly generated a new alien to behave, and boom, you got a new person who has all those skills you trained. So you don't lose the skills, you just have to reset. Benefit, downside. So, okay. I had another one. I don't know. Actually, no. Maybe I don't. No. So those are the three that I'm thinking of right now. Of course, their HP, MP, attack, defense parameters are going to be changed. Their traits are going to be different. But for right now, those are the things I'm thinking of, and those are what I'm going to call your playing cards, because, or not playing cards. I'm thinking of like Magic the Gathering almost, where every party member is like a set of like a series of cards, and this is kind of like your base. So if Magic the Gathering, these would be your like colors, and then your actors and the skills that are randomly generated would be your deck and cards associated with it. And you can add cards through the mentoring skill, which I guess we could add the mentoring skill. That might be a good thing to do. Of course, I feel like we need more skills before I add that. So, that's what I'm thinking. Class, which is your species, will be your core mechanic, your core color. Then it goes to an actor. An actor has a set of 3 cards to start with, and you can add more cards in as it goes, and boom, you now have a unique plane for about 3 hours. Okay, hit apply, hit OK. I hope it sounds great, because if not, this is gonna suck. Where is it? I wanted to verify sorter. Right now we have it sorting at MP cost. We definitely don't want MP cost. Can I? No. Can I? No. Okay. We need to find, where is it? It's at the very bottom. Cool. Whew. Bunch of credits, a bunch of terms of use. Oh, I can't do the middle click and scroll. This one's giving me PTSD because of how much this 2.0 generation is working. There we go. These are what I wanted, the special skill commands. Okay. So we want to sort by last used time. There we go. That's, and then we want, do I have, I thought there was a, okay. Damage, name, oh, there it is, usable. That's what we want to sort by. We want to sort by usable as well. Okay, and we actually want to sort by usable first and then last use. Oh yes, I agree. And that's one reason why, like, half of this is rehashing an existing idea that I think was poorly implemented, poorly designed, or poorly implemented, but had really good ideas. And I redesigned it, and I'm hoping to redesign this. I think the game will play to the mechanic, which I think the other game wasn't. I think the other game, I wasn't on the dev team. I have no clue how it was designed ultimately, but playing it and knowing the design process and stuff, I really feel like it was, the developers had a really cool idea that they wanted to test out, and the management team was like, okay, here's the game we want you to test it out on, and it didn't tie together, so they kind of had this hanging piece on the end of the game, kind of just going like, here's the core game mechanics already pre-established, and here's this hanging piece that we wanted to test that doesn't really work well with the game. So I want to polish that type of thing up. So I think this will be the skill sorter for right now. Oh, I would love to hear it, if you're willing to share. So the skill sorting is going to be, is the skill usable at this very moment? If it is, move it up. If it's not, put it back to the back. Then, if two skills are in the usable or non-usable arrangement, check to see which skill was last. If the skill was last used, move it to the top. And then the default sorting from there on. Which for now, we'll do that. Maybe later we can sort by MP, TP, and vice versa, depending on how the game plays. Okay. Is there any terms we can define? We don't really want to define HP, MP yet, or TP. None of these are definable, really. Fight, escape, attack, guard, item, skills. Equip, status. Oh yeah. More down solid if I will show you for sure. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of what I did is I was like, okay, this is the core mechanic I want for my game. And I'll work on it until, if you ever played my, what is it called? Handle with Care, the Handle with Care game I made, that was kind of the same point. I had a requirements of like, this is the, you had a limited asset you could pour, or limited asset pool you could pour from. So the first day, or first few hours, I went through the asset pool and was like, okay, which assets can I pull that I can use in RPG Maker to make a game? And I found a set of assets for like the push box puzzles. And I was like, locked, done, that's what we're making. We're making a push box game. And then I was like, okay, push blocks games are cool, but what mechanic would be, what would be an interesting twist? And I was like, interesting twist. The box is your life. Every push you make will slowly kill you. And I was like, awesome, make a level, see if I can die. Awesome, I can die. Now, what can I do to twist that? And that came up to all sorts of things, including a plugin that's never actually seen the light of day, or other than within that game, has never actually seen the light of day to basically push multiple events if they're in a row. So, maybe one day I'll optimize that and push it out. Okay, we got options. We don't need options. Save, end game. So I like end game to be something along the lines of like Return to Earth. So right now we just call it Return to Earth. Return to Earth. Building my assets in Blender and then rendering them out as pixel art. That is interesting. I love the idea of taking 3D models and turning them into pixel art. So one game that kind of did it, which I would love to see implementation in RPG Maker for, is the original Roller Coaster Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. How those rendered 3D is you had a fixed perspective camera and 4 sets of every tile. So you would be able to rotate the camera, but in reality what you're doing is just loading in the associated tiles that would be in that location if the camera rotated. Which I would love to see an implementation of. I don't know the ease of it. I haven't ever looked into how it was implemented, but I know the idea of what it did. I just never looked into like code-wise, is it easy code to port? But I always thought that would be a cool thing to have in RPG Maker, because that would allow you to have simulated 3D environments without like MZ and MV 3D, without rewriting how the graphics are rendering. So in theory, your entire game would not have plugin restrictions. Oh yeah, I'm sure it would take effort. I just haven't had the desire for it. Weapons, armors, key items, equipment, optimize, clears, buy, sell, new game. Ooh. Actually, we don't want Return to Earth. But new game I like. What is there a fancy term for rocket launches? Float, see, put, start, initiate. Rocket launch, even better. Okay, there we go. Moonshot, lunar exploration, space mission. What does this word mean? Expedition. It's a car! No. Journey, voyage, undertaken by a group of people with particular purpose, especially. No. I think we'll do launch mission for right now. Yeah, we'll go launch mission. What's a term for making contact to? Making contact with existing mission. Oh, reestablish contact. Yeah. I should. Before I mess up something, reestablish contact. Well, that's how you establish. How about reestablish? With my ex? Nah, much rather not reestablish contact with my ex, but reestablish contact in general sounds like a good idea. To title, I have no clue. So I like those. Yeah. Always dash. We don't have that yet. Command remember don't have. Touch UI. All of these things we don't have yet. Procession. I don't know where this gets used. Save message. Logged status. Logged mission status. I should check a demo before I name that because I'm pretty sure it says it has a % somewhere. Okay. Open. We want the default project again. Okay. Terms. Oh no, this is asking which file do you want to save to. Good thing I checked. We don't have that yet. Let's hit OK, and let's do line by line so that I can easily check these. Okay. File name, or no. Which file do you like to save to? We don't have. Which file would you like to save? Which reestablish contact. Which mission would you like to contact? And this is the great thing about having a completely empty thing is once we start getting the theming down, we can start filling these out and the game can really start fleshing itself. File, we'll call this mission. Autosave, I don't know where that gets put. Party name, %1, comma S, command. Yep. Hey KV Kingdom, stopping by to say hi. I'm guessing that means you're heading out as well. Well, I hope you know that we've come up with a theme. We've come up with like a main objective that fits the mechanic, and at least Skepsis thinks it's a cool idea that sounds great. Actually, correction. They think it sounds cool and sounding great. So, hopefully it's a cool, great game. Emerge, perception, surprise, escape failure, escape victory, defeat, obtaining. You're never going to obtain this. So, error, obtained XP in battle. Gold, we can come up with something over time. Item, we can come up with something over time. Level up, we already have. Obtain skill. I think I personally like developed skill. You've developed something. And it should be exclamation point. It's exciting. You developed it. Yay. Excellent blow, excellent damage. Recovery, no damage, no hits. A lot of this is battle related. Yeah. So there we go. We got at least some things. Some more things to find. So now that when we play a game, it's not completely empty, which that would be nice. Let's see how bad it looks. Re-establish contact. I think contact should have a capital C. Which mission would you like to contact? Mission 1. Mission 2. All the missions. Launch mission. Yep. I like that. I like that a lot. It has a good feel to it, minus that this should be a capital C. Okay. Log mission status. We're getting there. I think we're getting there. I know it seems very slow, but I'm just cleaning up like technical debt right now. Okay, cool. So log mission status, this one, and done. It'd be nice if it said like mission status logged, if it like popped up a window real quick and it was like logged mission status. But okay, cool. Mimic, cool. So I have a question for you guys, minus the peanut butter and fruit smoothie. Do I work on classes, or correction, do I work on building the pre-existing classes, which is our species, which literally would be coding up Mimic and coding up Reincarnation? Or do I come up with more classes to have a laundry list so that we can start testing class generation? Which I just realized, reincarnation theoretically could reincarnate into itself. So, unless reincarnated into the same class. Which I think that isn't a bug. I think that's a feature because, like, laundry list. What is my laundry list? Are you saying define the existing classes, or make a laundry list of all the classes that we need to do? Because defining the existing classes can be done. The only downside is, or we could do map design. I don't really want to do map design because I want to solidify the idea a little bit before we start putting things down. Make a laundry list of classes. Awesome. Cool. If you guys have any cool alien ideas, just remember, so cool alien ideas, just remember this learnable skill area cancel that. Not available. Because the skills are going to be defined by the actor. Because of the skills are occupations. Okay. I would plan on having more classes. If you plan on having more classes, I would get them down before defining new ones. Well, I'm not, correction. I'm planning to have more, I just don't have ideas yet. So, I have a pack of cards of aliens from a game I love that I'm going to just read through and see if they spark any ideas. Beyond that, if you guys have ideas for aliens, you can leave your ideas in aliens. Let me put that up on a screen somehow. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it like in a proper way, not like I open up a notepad. Let's go open up some text. Call to action. I find going from general to specific is the best workflow. Okay. We'll have it say, do you got cool alien ideas? Leave a comment. Or not leave a comment. Well, I guess leave a comment / chat. Remember, of the idea. There we go. And then, remember vulnerable skills not applicable. As giant text is screaming across the screen, draw that into a smaller text. This is where you realize, like, I haven't done this in a long while. There we can make that smaller. Yeah. How do I enter the text? Okay. Enter. There we go. Let's add some space so it's readable. There we go. Right there. There we go. Hi, Jaden. Okay. Maybe you have ideas put into your Discord. Yeah, you could leave it in the Discord as well. Okay. Guys. Actually, give me a quick second. Guys. Alright, one more quick second. There we go. Guys, there we go. Let's go make a channel for this. For right now, it's going to be in the rewards, legacy, ideas, and support. Create the channel. Boom. Drop any ideas for legacy. There we go. I think permissions are good. You can view the channel, you can send, you can, yep, okay, all that's good. Integrations I don't need, no invites, cool. Boom. Actually, I could have created an invite. Why not? Let's create an invite. Hidden, copy, okay. Do not see. Okay. Let's make this never expire. And yeah, that sounds good. Copy. Hey guys, Here's the invite that you aren't supposed to see. I don't know which one it actually took, but cool. Hopefully it took the right one. Okay, back to stream now. What channel? I made a new channel. Legacy Ideas and Support. If you click the link, it'll jump right to it. What's an example of one you already have? I'll do better when I have a starting point. Okay, so human is human. I don't think there's going to be anything fancy for human. It'll most likely be middle of the line. Nothing, no defects, no benefits. Mimic. Don't have any coded up for it yet, but the idea is a mimic is not really a class in the traditional sense. What it will do is when you get a mimic on your team, it will add that mimic tag to the actor, and then every time the actor joins your party, it generates a new class, and every time it gets out of battle and survives, it generates a new class. Reincarnation. Kind of like Mimic, except instead of it generating constantly, it allows you, when it hits that enlightenment phase, instead of the party member dying and disappearing, what it will do is it will reset the party member to 0 experience, 0 wisdom, change the party member's class randomly, and then the benefit to that is it not only do you not lose the party member, but all your items on that party member stay, as well as all the skills you've taught that party member stays. You don't have to worry about training that party member with new skills, mentoring those skills from one party member to the next. So reincarnate is really good for long term. But you can play with any of the traits, any of the parameter curves. Experience curve doesn't matter. Don't worry about the experience curve as well. Let me write this kind of here. Right now, looking for classes, alien species. And we need to rename both Mimic and Reincarnate, because those are very, what does your species do? That'd be like human, walked on 2-leg ape. Not great. So we need to come up with cooler names as well. Right now, looking for classes, alien species, without worrying about learnable skills or XP curve, because those aren't going to matter. So, boom. Okay, so we got examples. I got a deck of cards. I'll read them out as you guys help if you guys do. If not, you get to enjoy my lovely voice, and maybe we can brainstorm on one. Okay, so this alien's a masochist. You have the power to hurt yourself at the start of any player's initial phase. Before the offense receives any reimbursement of players, use this power to win the game if you've lost all your players. Lost ships will be included in the definition of what a lost ship is. You do not lose this power if you have a condition. Okay, so basically you're trying to do the opposite. You're trying to lose HP to win the game. My win the game is not going to be defined by by the alien. So unless I can come up with a cool thing along the lines of like low HP equals a huge benefit, I think we can put this one to the side. Okay, tripler. You basically can triple the amount of. Give me a second. Uses power to adjust its value. Okay, so high cards. Is this mandatory? Yeah, this is mandatory. That's why. So what this card does is it triples low attacks, making them extremely strong. However, at the same time, it lessens high attacks by 1/3. Or, wait. Divide its value by 3. Yeah, so it lessens it to 1/3. That we could do. So, I'll create that real quick as an idea. Tripler. Because what we could do is we could check in the skills. So like this skill right here. We could go, and I plan to make a plugin to do this. It's going to be general damage formula. So like if you have a bunch of damage formulas, you know, like I just want these to have general attributes. You could make a note tag instead of defining them everywhere. So what I'm thinking is it will be like a.class equals whatever the class number is. Let's say 4. If a dot equals that equals 4, then you have 1,000. You have 1,000 times 3, or 1,000 divided by 3, which could be nice. It could be where it would diversify the skill set so that low level skills aren't necessarily a good thing. Now we have to define what a low skill is and what a high skill is, but we could do it. We could even have a running average where it checks how many skills have been used, what's the average damage output, and depending on what the average damage output, you will define that. That would be interesting because you could start manipulating that. I think we'll do that. And it wasn't 4, it was 5. Boom. Boom. There you go. So, okay, see you, KV. So, damage formulas. We could do all damage formulas. Now we'll just stick with damage formulas are multiplied by 3 if less than the average damage output in the entire game, or divided by 3 if more. That could be a unique skill. I could see the benefits to that. Okay, this one. Power to multiply. Multiplies an attack. After it's used, uses power to multiply the number of ships you have in an encounter times the value of your card, including. Okay, so all of this does is multiply like your strength times your total damage, which I think would run completely out of control, and it'd be very hard to make that a downside. Void. Power to eradicate. When you win an encounter, remove from the entire game. Okay, so basically when you fight something, you remove it from existence. I don't think there's going to be a real way of implementing that in game, so no. This one. Power of command. When it's not your turn, choose the power and okay. Okay, so basically this lets you choose who you're attacking. I don't think there's ever going to be a way for me to code that up in a way that everyone would feel fair. During each player's turn, you may play an attack card on any planet. Okay, so what this one does, which could be interesting, is you can play an attack, okay, but not hit anyone. And if you do, it builds your defense, which I think that could be actually an interesting... I put it in the wrong section again. I think that could be an interesting thing, because what I'm thinking is it would require me coding a little bit, but every miss you have, every time you miss an enemy, instead of that being like a null value, you miss an enemy and all that damage you were going to cause goes to your defense. Which basically would make you the opposite of a glass cannon, a really good tank. It would make you a solid tank candidate. So, yeah. It's called Citadel for right now. And all attacks that are missed by the Citadel. The fun parts after this is right now we're coming up with lore, or not lore, we're coming up with mechanics. The fun part's going to be coming up with the lore on why this creature can do this. All attacks that are missed by the Citadel are used to increase defense. Yeah, that would be a cool one. Which has its downsides, because to really utilize a Citadel creature, you'd want a very low hit percentage. So anything that boosts their hit percentage is a downside to them. Possibly. I'd have to play around once we code this up to see where I'd want this in my team. Or how I would want to use this and what the downside is. What is the downside? Machine can continue turn. So this one we could actually code up right now. It's actually pretty easy. Attacks, right? No. Action times. If I remember right, this is percentage based. So, 100% you'll have an action. Or 100% your action will be used up completely. Yeah, that's how it's used. Because you can't go over 100%. 100% your action will be used up completely. And if you go to 0, I believe that would be you never lose. You never give up your turn. So, let's go 33%. So, you're not at 3 per se. Not every time you have it, but you'll generally have more. Actually, we'll go 66. So basically, you'll get to yeah, we'll go 60. Go 50 for now. This one's gonna be fun to balance, but your turn is yeah. So you can keep attacking as long as you are lucky. So, this is called the machine. And what I'm thinking is, there's really no downside to this. Well, actually we can. We can cut the attack and, yeah, we can cut the attack in half. So, downside, 50%. Actually, no. I think we want a somewhat severe downside. So 25 attack from human. Normal. Human levels. So, you can't hit hard, but in theory, you can hit more. And I'll go 33. I'll go 50. We'll have to play around with this, but this one I could see. It's a cool thing. You can hit more often, but you're just not hitting equally as hard. So hit apply so we don't lose anything. Okay, grudge. After alliances are formed, use this party to place a grudge on each player you invited to ally but did not accept. We don't have that capability right now. Okay. After you revere, use this power to add 1. So this is just a regen. So you basically regen your health a little bit. I don't think there's a power or a positive side worthwhile compared to some of the other ones. Some of the other ones we have so far, insane. Being able to regen even a little bit will be debatable. If we can come up with a good regen, I might add it. Gambler. After your opponents reveal the attack cards, you may use the power on yours face down and declare what you want. We could implement this. So this one we could implement. Basically, if we do an attack defense rock, paper, scissors for each skill, instead of your attack or defense being defined, every time you need to use it, it will pop up a statement going, hey, what is your attack? What is your defense? And you put in the number. Of course, nah, because there's no downside to that. You could put 9999 everything. The downside would be as if we had a human aspect to it, where it'd be like, I think you're lying, but we don't have that. Okay, so that's all of those cards. Let's see the next set. Okay, execute. Whenever any other players, okay, targets another player is drawn from, okay, use this power to, okay, so this one we could implement sort of. It would require a little bit of tweaking, a persistent state, right? Or no, it would require every battle to check to see if a party member has this and implement it. Basically, what it would do is anytime you're in battle, it cuts the enemy's health by a certain amount. I like it. I think the implementation, though, would be a little difficult. Kamikaze. That could be interesting. Main player, before this encounter is selected, you may use this power to send up to 4 ships from any of your colonies to a warp. Every ship you send draws 2 cards from your deck. Is this power? Okay. So, I kind of like the idea of this creature. I kind of do. But how would we implement it? Because the idea is you get skills, you get extra skills by having this creature. However, this creature is like destined to die. Which I guess we could do. We could have a tag if actor has this class, add 2 skills in the generated skill pool. And then what we do is for max health, we literally go like, you're gonna die. I want 99. You're literally, you're going to die. But you get 2 skills. What do you guys think about that? So basically, because the mentoring skill, let's rough this out a little bit. Mentoring is going to be, you're going to target an ally that's alive, of course. You can always use it. And I think we're going to have it where we're going to define it where the TP cost is equal to the level, or we can't do the level of the ally you selected. TP cost equal to I want it to be a TP cost. It'd be really nice if it was a TP cost equal to the level of the thing you're training, but I guess equal to a dot level equal to your level. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. So select. Actually, we'll put this in notes for now. Select the ally you want to. Okay, for now. Select the ally you want to mentor. A random skill 2. It will cost you the. Oh, we already have that. So you select an ally. It randomly chooses one of a random skill of yours to mentor to teach. So you select an ally on your team, and it will select a random skill of this current actor, and it will teach that random skill to that actor. So the trade-off, because every good game has good positives and trade-offs. The trade-off is, for you to have all your skills, you have to be really up there on the level side. The downside is, because you're really up there on the level side, it's less likely for you to train the skill you want. We might have to come up with some logic to prevent reteaching skills. Make logic so that known skills of the ally aren't retaught. So that's that aspect. Okay. Now that we know that, give me a quick second. Okay, now that we know all of that, one more second. Okay. I think we can now code up the kamikaze, or not code up, but we know how the kamikaze class would work. Is you do not want to enter a battle with the kamikaze class. You want to stay out of battles as long as possible. However, you need to generate that TP as well. So you have to play that balancing act. The benefit is the minimum amount of TP you need is 20 because you have 5. 20 plus or minus like 10. So you want to gain experience to get levels, but then immediately you want to try to gather as much TP as you can, go and use that TP, train it, and then that person's dead to you. Yeah, I like that. I like that mechanic. It'll bring an interesting aspect when you see that randomly gets generated. It's like, oh, cool, I can get a lot of skills for this one specific job. However, if I enter a battle early and this person dies, they die. Of course, you can get they can be reincarnated, so you can kind of balance. You can kind of balance that ability. Hate. Okay. Hate is rage. At the start of your turn, use this power to force every player to discard a card or lose a ship. I do not know how I would remove an action from an enemy off the top of my head. And providing that choice, that would be hard. So, hate, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to sit there. You might hate it. Fido. After encounter are discarded at the end, you may retrieve one. Okay, so Fido we might be able to do. Because I think there is... No, there's not. I thought there was. Give me a second. Parameter. Is it an extra one? Pharmacology. I think pharmacology. We're gonna go Google this real quick. RPG Maker or MV pharmacology. What does this do? Yeah, Reddit. What are you? Why is my Reddit like hella zoomed in? Okay. Increases the effects of items based on healing, but does not apply to removal, but does apply to MPTP and all that. Okay, so that's not really what we want. Can we do what I want? What I want is whenever you use an item, there's a chance on you getting that item back, you not using it. I will add this, but I don't know if we're going to actually get it to code up. Can I code it up? Yes. The question is it going to be a headache? Fido. When Fidos use items, they can somehow get the effect, but not use the item. Which that can be nice. That can repurpose who saves up items, who in a battle you're gonna let do the healing and stuff. So, okay. Calculator. So calculator we could do. Basically what it will do is whenever you're in a battle, if you are the offensive side, it will reduce the enemy's defense by your attack. That could get ridiculous very quickly. So no, we're not going to do that. I don't have the controls in place to make that fail, because you just use a calculator and be like, attack, reduce. Which reduces the attack, which ultimately makes you even stronger. Digit swapping on the attack. So that would make a 10 a 1 and so on and so forth. That we could do. We could flip the damage. So if you hit somebody with 100, in reality you just hit somebody with 1. Is it worth it? Because it would require coding up a lot of things. It would be kind of like Citadel, right? No. Triple or. It'd be having to code up another option for triple or, which I already have plugin ideas to do. So I guess it wouldn't be too hard. It'd just be coding up, taking the damage, equivalating it, tossing it into my general damage equation, and going, oh, are you a mirror? Yes. Okay, flip the damage around. But flipping a damage around could be hard, because you'd have to convert damage into a string, flip the string, and then convert the string into an int. So I guess not too hard. Let's add it. Why not? Mirror. When attacking, when damage involves this class, the damage is flipped. So like 10 becomes 1. That could be a fun thing to play. Just having to remember that. Healer. Healers are cool. What can it do? Can save others. Ships from warps. Okay. I know how we could do this. Healer can actually be coded up really easily in game. So we're gonna go to special and substitute. What does substitute guy do? Creature suffering an attack in place of allies with less HP. Basically, anytime any of your allies have less HP, this guy gets hit. Done. Which, that could be a fun thing to have. Even I could see having that at the beginning of a game, especially as just a damage buff. And if you are close enough to the original, or not the original, the reincarnation, or not reincarnation, the revival place, you could use a healer over and over again for multiple battles with no risk because you could just revive it. Okay, armor pod can force enemy units to attack it instead of the target of their choice unless this enemy is killed. Okay, so you're looking at this as an enemy. Taunt enemies with higher HP and taunt type enemies with higher HP and damage. I like. Let's pin that so I don't forget it somewhere. I'm gonna get swarmed with ideas. Okay, so this is an enemy. I just want to verify that. That's the only thing I want to verify, if it's an enemy or a class. Because if it's an enemy, we can start working on it. It can be whatever. I was just looking at stuff. Okay. Can force enemies to attack it instead of the target of their choice until this enemy is killed. So that's kind of the healer. So, do you want to call the healer an armor pod? Because that's kind of the healer we just did. Is as long as there's an enemy, as long as there's an ally with less health being attacked, the healer will step forth. So, we can call it an armor pod. And let me just define this creature. A beetle. Yeah, so I know from like an artistic perspective what to look for. Okay. So a beetle with thick, almost armor-like shell, and almost, yeah, sure. 4 legs with thick glass-like transparent eyelids. Not with, this is just more details. Thick glass-like transparent eyelids. A taunt type enemy with high HP and high defense. Okay, so let's say I like the high HP. Let's go 50% more than human in HP and defense. So I like that. And of course we can take all these classes and convert into various enemies. I might even write a plugin that lets you stick a class on an enemy and gain all the class capabilities. Okay, Amoeba. Power to ooze. As the main player after an encounter is selected and before they are revered, you have at least one ship in the encounter. You may use this power to increase or decrease the number of ships you have in the encounter. And don't have a real impact in this gameplay. Knowledge. Before allies are invited, you may use this power to look at the entire hand of one of the main players. If you're the main player, you may look at the opponent's hand. You may not tell other players. Is there a way we could implement the ability to see what the enemies are doing? Not without a plugin that I can think of. Yeah. I can't think of a way to do it without a plugin. Which that sucks. But also we need to put I'm gonna create a credits so that I know who to give credit to, because skips this. D provided armor pod class that takes hits. Oh, can we do this? I'm sure I can. BRB, I need to take. Okay. I'll see you when you get back from your dog, taking the dog out. Yes, we can. Cool. Boom. Long Discord channel, but there we go. Ugh, I hate cancer. Okay. Credits. Skype. No. Skype. D. And the long Discord channel, and then hit OK. There we go. So now we have a credit system going in the works. Save this so that nothing gets lost. Armor pod, awesome. Remora. Power to cling. Whenever another player retrieves one. Ooh, that'd be an interesting thing. I would have to code up a bit of work. Basically, what it would do is anytime any player hears, this player hears, which I don't think is a default ability anywhere. No. You can cut encounters. You can double, but I don't think there's a hear when others hear ability. You can change the recovery effect, but not heal when players heal. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what we could do. This isn't... No. Yeah, death is death. Enlighten is something totally different. Never mind. Me being cray-cray. Okay. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to implement that. Human! I have a human too. Personally, I want to take human and literally just average a majority of the aliens. Make it where humans are your safe bet. If you choose human, you're choosing, I don't want to shake anything up. It's all safe. Safe, safe, safe. Okay. Might. Demands colony or loses cards. I like the idea where the this alien has a likelihood of guaranteeing you or winning a battle. However, equal likelihood of losing a skill it has. However, I don't want to implement that. The implementation is too hard. Reincarnator. I think I actually came up with the Reincarnator from the same idea. Let's see. Use a power, not in game. No. So this guy is completely opposite. Apparently, she just wants more food. Oh yeah, I miss having dogs in some sense, but at the same time, they can be very picky and they don't speak English. It's so sad. Philanthropist. Giveaway skills. I don't think we have. I think everyone's going to have that with the mentoring ability. They're going to be able to mentor away their skills. Antimatter. Lower turtle wins. We could implement antimatter. We could implement it where the attack and defense on the damage formula is flipped for all antimatter skill, or for anyone antimatter. But I don't think we're going to do it, because I don't want to code that up. That's 90% of the reason. Fodder. Play additional low cards. So what this one can do is play additional skills as long as they are low. Which I don't want to code that up, so nope. TikTok. Limits the length of a game. So take game, replace it with battle, limit the length of a battle. That could be interesting. How would I do that? I don't think so. No. I can't think of a good idea. I spent like 10 seconds on it. Hacker. Let's see. Okay, we're just hitting green, so actually I'm going to stop here so that I know where I was at. So we went through red and yellow decks. We just need to go through green decks now. We got 10 actors. We have 10 aliens species. Let's run through them real quick. We got the Mimic. Mimic's not a real one because all it does is basically just tags the actor going, hey, you're a Mimic, but in reality you're not. Randomly choose another class. Human, that's on mid-grade. If you choose human, you're not choosing any advance. You're not choosing any advancements, but you're also not choosing any disadvantages. So middle of the line, you're gonna be human. Reincarnate. Basically, it's like Mimic, except instead of it all the time you're mimicking, you're going to reincarnate at the very end of your wisdom to a random class, and you keep doing that until you're no longer a reincarnate, and at the same time you're going to restart at 0 XP, 0 wisdom. Benefits. Get to keep all the skills you've trained up for a reincarnate, and you get to keep all the equipment you have equipped on them. So there's benefits, assuming that the class they go to can also use that equipment. Now that I have aliens, the equipment types can really change up, so it's going to be fun doing that. Tripler. Basically, if you are less than the average total damage, you get triple of that. If you're greater than the average, you lose a third. So play wisely. That's a good balance. This one we haven't thought of a downside yet. Basically, if you miss your attack, you gain defense. That's it. Done. We need to come up with a downside. Either your attacks are really weak or something that makes the Citadel not a powerhouse. Machine. basically, you can keep attacking pretty much all the time. However, you're going to attack low, and that's that. Kamikaze. Basically, you are a glass cannon. You're not even a glass cannon. You are glass. You're going to die. But the benefit is you might train off someone. So, we can make it a glass cannon. Is it worth making a glass cannon? I'll think about that. Fido. Basically, when you use an item, you can somehow use the item without actually using it up in your inventory, which that could be beneficial. This is at the party, as long as there is at least one in your party, because you can't select which member is using the item. Mirror. Basically, after damage is calculated, if mirror is in the damage, be it the enemy or be it the target or the aggressor, flip the damage. Good. So it can protect you. It also can hurt you. Be careful. And Armor Pod, thanks to Skepsis D, who basically is a tank, gonna take all the hits and stuff, and yeah, that's that. It's gonna take all the hits. Really good, like I said, when it was a healer. Really good if you're close to the place where you can revive it. Really bad if you're not. So, I think even with these 10, we have a dynamic party of 4. If I randomly were to choose 4 of these, the gameplay just from the aliens alone would be vastly different. We're not even getting to the occupation yet. Once you get to the occupation, you're like, what skills do I get? Do I want an armor pod who is a healer? Is that worth it? Possibly. In reality, I think it would, because you could heal up and keep the armor pod as the lowest health. Oh no, you don't want an armor pod with, no. You want an armor pod with the lowest health, so, or you want your allies to have the lowest health. So your armor pod you want to keep healed. So yeah, there we go. I think that's good for now. Like I said, with this theme and everything, all the mechanic aspect for this mechanic we built is just falling into place. We have a couple of side quests, side objectives, side mechanics should implement, but beyond that, this is perfect. I have some ideas on how to implement various twists into navigation. But until then, I hope you all have a good night. I will talk to you all later, most likely Tuesday. Remember, join the Discord. Right now there's legacy ideas and support where your ideas can get into this game to help build it up. Less of a community. I don't know if this would be a community project, but either way, if it is, I'll shift it to community and you guys can actually add your stuff right into the game. But until then, bye-bye. Take care, Skepsis D. Thank you for helping and being a lovely supporter.